Hi guys, welcome to Bible Breakdown. We're doing Isaiah chapter 13. This chapter is titled A Pronouncement Against Babylon. So this chapter goes into depth on how Babylon will basically be annihilated. So for my first couple points, I wrote, Isaiah mentions a heavy message of importance related to Babylon. The southern kingdom of Judah and also Israel fell to the Babylonians. I also wanted to know how this shows how the Lord is righteous and just because he's providing judgment over everyone. It's not only Judah, it's not only Israel, because the first 12 chapters, it was only about Judah and Israel, like y'all are out here. And now we're going to start to see all the other nations get their judgment too. So now continuing, we're going to see exactly what is going to happen to Babylon. So I wrote, due to Babylon's pride and wickedness, they are getting the wrath of the Lord. Verses 2 to 8 goes into deep detail on what will actually happen to them. Here I'll highlight some of the things that were mentioned. So for one thing, warriors that were prepared by the Lord and the ones that respect him will be the ones going to war. It also talks about how they're coming from near and far and they're coming to just destroy the land. There's no mercy being given here. And some things that they'll endure, it says they'll have weak hands, hearts will be lost, there'll be fear, pain, agony over the people that stay there. This is also being compared to the pains of childbirth. So verse 8 says, they will be horrified, pain and agony will seize them. They will be in anguish like a woman in labor. They will look at each other, their faces flushed with fear. So this is not going to be like a lighthearted thing. Like this is full on disaster. And starting from verse 9, I wrote that the day the Lord comes to provide judgment over all will be the day of no mercy. The destruction that is going to take place continues to be expressed. So from this point on, it's just going into more depth about what's going to happen to Babylon. I wanted to read verse 11. It says, I will punish the world for its evil and wicked people for their iniquities. I will put an end to the pride of the arrogant and humiliate the insolence of tyrants. So I feel like that gives a reason as to why, in a sense, why this is all happening. And then in verse 13 to 15, I said that it shows a piece of what chaos is supposed to be expected on this day. So those verses say, therefore I will make the heavens tremble and the earth will shake from its foundations at the wrath of the Lord of armies, on the day of his burning anger. Like wandering gazelles and like sheep without a shepherd, each one will turn to his own people. Each one will flee to his own land. Whoever is found will be stabbed, and whoever is caught will die by the sword. Then when you continue to read to verses 17 and 18, it talks about how the Medes are going to be the ones responsible for providing this war and no mercy. And in verse 18, it says, their bows will cut young men to pieces. They will have no compassion on offspring. They will not look with pity on children. So even the children are not safe. And that's saying a lot. Then to end the chapter for verses 19 to 22, I wrote, the events that will take place are compared to Sodom and Gomorrah. And when things are compared to that situation, we know it's not a good thing. So I wrote, it leaves us to understand like there's not going to be anything left behind. Verses 20 to 22 show how the land will be no more and it will essentially become a desert to wildlife. So it highlights how owls will fill homes, ostriches will be there, wild goats, and hyenas will all just like reside there. And before I go, I want to highlight verse 20. It says, it will never be inhabited or lived in from generation to generation. A nomad will not pitch his tent there, and shepherds will not let their flocks rest there. So all in all, Babylon is going to turn into a no man's land. But yeah, that is all I have for you guys. That is the end of this chapter. I will see you guys tomorrow for Isaiah chapter 14. I love y'all. God loves y'all more. Have a great night.